whatever, and like I don't remember what happened. So any stories I have are just like what you've told me I've done.
So I'm trying to yeah, I'm trying to get it here.
There was also Chevron, the one with you and I.
I didn't really get possessed there. I just got really angry.
Like, you weren't really doing
And I think it was me, you, Derek, and Tammy. And then I remember Derek said something really funny, and it made me laugh. So that's how I know I wasn't possessed. But you didn't laugh at all. And I can't remember what it was, but it was really funny. Does us telling stories to you bring any memories back of anything that's ever happened? Or do you guys just not remember it at all?
Grafton, I don't remember. Not a bit.
Like, I don't remember the one that happened in Silver Reef.
That one was creepy. That one was straight up, like, not you.
Alright. So I have exorcised 2 different people at Grafton.
You didn't finish Grafton.
I think it was the same demon both times I'm getting there. With Steven, me and my sister were off trying to figure out what was going on. Tammy and Steven were back in the car. And I don't remember what he did to her. Or it was something.
I was in the front seat, he was in the back, and I was talking to him, and he wasn't saying anything back to me. Like, that's kind of weird for Steven, because he talks a lot. No
yeah, I do.
And I turned around, and he was just staring at me, and, like, I was like, dude, Steven, I'm trying to talk to him, but he wasn't saying anything. And, like, I don't remember, like, just something threw me off, and I was like, come back to the car, something's up with Steven.
Yeah, but we came back to the car, and, thank you for interrupting.
Sorry.
We came back to the car, and he was not himself. I started reciting some things, and he started, like, giggling for some strange reason, and I remember one thing is he stuck his head through a very, very small crack in my door that I don't know how he could have stuck his head through, but he stuck his head up and got inches within my face. And he said, you can keep reciting that bad word.
If it's appropriate bad language?
It's not appropriate bad language. So
he said the other, like...
If you keep saying that crap, you can keep saying that crap because it's not going to do an effing thing.
Oh.
Yeah. And then one thing that I remember is as he pulled his head back in, it knocked his hat off, and he has a weird obsession with hats.
I'm very anal about my hats.
He doesn't like them falling on the ground. He doesn't like them being on any type of ground. They have to be off the ground at all times. It fell down, and this hat was special because it had a cross on it. And so I remember asking him if he was going to take care of his hat, and he looks down at the hat, and he looks back up at me, and he laughs, and he's like, no, I like the cross that way anyways. And it was upside down. And then we started reciting more stuff, and he kicks his feet up. And there's something you need to understand about Steven is he has a bad hip. He can't do that.
I'm a crippled person.
Yeah. He can't do that. So he kicks his feet up, like, over his head without moving his upper body. It's just his lower body moving. And he throws it into the side of the door, and I don't know how he could have done that if he wasn't... Like, if he was joking around, I don't know how that would have happened. But I remember that we probably battled it for a little bit longer, and then it was finally gone, and he didn't remember anything.
Like
and
when I came to, I was on the ground. My feet were still in the door, and I don't think I was pissed, but I was hurting.
Yeah, I just don't know how he would have been able to do it. You know, with the way that his hip is, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, that demon has probably plagued us for a year and a half. We finally got rid of it. There was something at the Dixie Deer Lodge, believe it or not. We found a ritual wand and a ritual fire and stuff. We found 2 cat corpses there. They looked like they had been killed previous to being there. I think it was some sort of sacrifice, but we got rid of that one. That was just a terrifying night. I know Steven wasn't there for that one, but we were all standing outside, and we just kept seeing things crawling near us. It was getting darker and darker, and people were freaking out. And I remember my wife getting in the car saying that it was time to go. So she gets in the car, and I walk over to the driver's side, and I'm looking to see if there's any handprints or anything on my car. And I just hear her flip out. She just starts crying. I think she threw the equipment.
I threw my glasses.
Oh, because I knew you threw something.
Because, like, I didn't want to see anything, so, like, I threw my glasses so I could cover my face
That
and
makes
not
sense.
smudge my glasses.
So you were worried about smudging your glasses.
Well, I just, like, threw them onto my
But-
lap and then, like, covered my face because I just didn't want to see anything.
Yeah, she told me that she,
Sorry to get off topic, but that's pretty fun.
She told me that she heard something smack the door, and it wasn't me, and it wasn't the other team members because they were in the other car at that time. And we'll talk more about that on Sunday, I do believe. I think we're doing a special on the Dixie Deer Lodge. Can you stop throwing things?
How many shoutouts did Sarah get?
I don't know.
Facebook, she said 3, so we're gonna go for a 4th.
Sarah!
Sarah!
But anyways, we'll talk more about that on Sunday. I don't know. Possession is not just it's really not a thing that you should mess with.
Take it from me.
If you're gonna be a demonologist and you're gonna go after demons, there are things that you have to remember. And that's once you have made contact with a demon, once you have battled that demon, they will always remember your face. They will send more people out
Is that me?
they will send more people out to try and attack you. I think I've dealt with 6 different demons. I don't know. There's a lot of.
Should you tell the story on her possession at Silver Reef?
Yeah. There was one time before me and my wife were married that we went out. It was, not as many people as there are now. We got rid of a couple members. They kind of just left.
Because the part that I remember was it was you, Stephen, and Ronnie in the cemetery. Angie was there, wasn't she?
No.
Another girl was there. Like, not Laura. Like, Laura was there, but then there was
It
another
was. Oh, shoot.
girl. It wasn't
I can't remember her
Miranda.
name.
I can't remember who it was.
Was it Jazz? No.
I don't think it was Jasmine. I think we would remember it was Jasmine because there's things that she does every time we're ghost hunting that just makes you giggle.
But
So
anyways, like, there's another female there, and I don't remember. And I saw the girls were out, and the guys were in the cemetery, and they were talking to whatever was in there, and they were like, if you want us to leave, tell us to leave, like, tell us and stuff, and, like, trying to, like, provoke it, like, do something, and, like, then I heard, like, in my ear, get out, and then I went up to the fence, and I was like, because at this time I was dating somebody else, I was like, babe, we need to go, we need to get out of here, and you guys just, like, ignored me, and, but then finally you guys came out. By the time you came out, I wasn't myself, and then you came in.
Like, you were
Yeah,
by my mom's car.
she
no,
was
your
she was standing by my car, and me and Steven heard her say, "There's something standing over by the fence." And if you're at Silver Reef into Catholic Cemetery, they have this brick entrance way that's built around the Catholic Cemetery. And me and Steven walk over to. Oh, if you're facing it, it's the right-hand side of the fence. Because she kept saying that she saw a little girl there, and she kept saying, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, stuff
At
like
one point,
that.
she said it was her sister.
Yeah, she said it was her sister. But we walked down to that area, and if Steven still has the picture, I will have him post it
our Facebook page. If
on
not, it's
Southern
our
Utah
website.
Ghost Hunters. But we took a picture, and no one was smoking at that time, but where she said something was standing, there was this big mist. And I don't know if you remember that picture.
I remember turning around, and I remember seeing a head and horns.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the whole demon girl started.
Yeah, but we came back, and she kept saying, "Oh, my sister's here, my sister's here." And I kept asking her, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "My dead sister's here." And so I pulled her ex-boyfriend aside, and I asked him, I was like, "Does she have any sisters, that have died?" And he said, "I don't recall her having any sisters. I don't know for sure if she has any, but I don't recall her having any." But she was to the point of tears, saying, "My sister's here. I see her. She's telling me it's not my fault," all that lovely stuff. And she kind of just snapped out of it for a minute.
I remember
that.
like collapsing. In the
Yeah,
shower.
she fell to the ground and she started pretty much. She started. I don't remember if you were crying or not, or if you just like felt like you were not.
If I could hear you scratching when I listen to this later, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah.
I remember like falling into his arms, forgot me, and then I was like, "What the heck?" And then you guys like explained everything that was going on, and then we all left.
And I asked her. I asked you if you had a sister, and you said yes, and I was like, "Well, did she die?" And you said no, she's in rehab right now. If she died, then it's news to me.
I remember getting in the car and then
She's not dead, but...
No, she's not dead.
I remember we got in the car and she wigged out again.
No, because
Like,
I remember.
I think that was a different time.
No.
She
It
was
the same time. I remember
sitting
what
right
happened.
behind me. And like when she came to, she said, "For some reason, I wanted to choke you out, Steven."
No,
Yeah.
like in the car, I remember because like I was overwhelmed with emotion. Like right as we were leaving, I was like crying, and I don't know why. And then we were leaving, and I just like. I don't know, I remember saying that, I don't know why, but I just want to choke Steven right now. And you kind of looked at me, and I, like, kept hearing, like, stuff in my head that was, like, anger, like an angry woman yelling at a man type thing, like, in my head. And so, like, I felt like I needed to take that emotion out on Steven for some reason. I didn't touch him or anything, but then we got out of Silver Wraith, pulled out by that like grocery looking store building plaza thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
The little mini
got
mall
out
or
of the
whatever.
car and then I felt fine.
Yeah.
Sarah. Gotta make it loud.
There's 5. Yeah. We actually only have 3 minutes left. I think that we could actually do another episode if you guys want to.
I'm down.
Like we can just continue this on. It'll be a minute, but if you guys just like keep watching and stay tuned and all that stuff, I think that we should be okay. If you
Call
guys,
us.
yeah, just give us a
Have
call.
any
like
possession stories or
the next
questions.
Yeah, just stay tuned in to what you're listening to. You know, if you have any questions or possession stories, you know, text them to me or give us a call. Hopefully, it should pick up pretty good. But, yeah, sadly, because we're not paying for this program yet, we only have a limited amount per episode. And so if you will give me about 5-10 minutes, we'll get back on the air once I get everything figured out so that we can, you know, continue this with you guys, because I think that there's a lot more that we could touch on the subject besides, you know, what we have. I said besides.
Besides.
Yeah, besides what we have. So
Let's go for 6 before we get out. Before we get off this episode.
Before we go, what do you mean? Let's go
before this
for
one
6.
ends. Let's go for 6. We're at 5.
Sarah?
Yeah. No. Oh,
Sarah, I love you. Okay. And then I also want to give a shout out to my friend Greg. He's listening right now.
Oh,
I think
hey,
that's
Greg.
really cool.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. If you guys just stay tuned, like I said,
Sarah.
we should actually be back up. We should be back up in about, 5-10 minutes. So, yeah. So, yeah, just thanks for listening. We'll be back in just a second.
Oh, excuse me. Greg.
Better watch your back, you've been down to